Evening, everybody. It's 7:16 on Sunday night, the 7th, and this is your first look at the futures. Chart on the screen is the oil, which, as you can see, had a new closing low on the weekly. And unfortunately, after this blow off high, you'll see in tonight's letter, we have the pullback into this area of strong support between 92 and 95, went up, made a lower high at 123, and has since come down, broke once, but closed higher, and could not get back through about well, the high on Wednesday was 101.88, so 102. It closed the week down about 9.5%, 961, and tonight is also a little bit lower, down $1. It has not broken Friday's low of 87.01, but it easily could. Let's take a look and see what else is going on. I did notice that the stock futures were lower. Grains are not open. Uh, Nat gas down 21. The dollar is basically unchanged, up 1 penny, and the gold is down a half a dollar. If it holds this area, this 1787, 1790 area, and starts back up, I could definitely see it moving. But this was a relatively short range week and right into the beginning of the supply up here at 1820 or so. I think it's probably more likely to come down into the 1755, 1760 area, but it is in a really nice channel that has, hit the top of the channel, hit the bottom of the channel, came close to the top of the channel and closed down on the week that week, hit the bottom of the channel 4 weeks ago and has been working higher. So unless we're going to break to the upside, this is probably going to be the place. I will say, though, that this area at 1700 is a lot of support. And as you can see, the MACDs are trying to turn. They're especially wide right now, which generally looks like, as it did here, looks like a little bit of a oversold condition. And all of the moving averages are around the same area with the exception of the 200 week. And the 5 is actually turned up. I want to take a look at the daily on this, give you a little bit better look. Okay, so we're really trying to stay above the top of that channel, and we could, but this was very disappointing to seeing it up 30 with a high of 1812, and then the next day not even being able to make a new high. Of course, it also didn't make a new low, but it was an inside day, and it did close about 2/3 on the way down. Um, we have all of this news about uh, the poorly named Inflation Reduction Plan. And while everybody's screaming about it, the market couldn't care less. The S&Ps are down 12, NASDAQ down 43, Dow down 72, and the Russell down $6. Bitcoin and Ethereum are both a little higher, and the bonds are basically unchanged, up 1/16 or 2/32. But let's take a look at the S&P because I'm particularly negative on it. I really don't think it's going to blast right through this 4,200. We did have a nice rally here, just like we had a nice rally here. It gets to approximately the same place and starts going sideways. Now, you might think that the longer that it stays in this range, the better off it is. I feel exactly the opposite way. The longer it stays in this range without being able to get through 4,200, the more likely it is to come back in and test 4,000 or 3,900. And that's kind of what I expect it to do. The MACD also on the upper end, and the 5 day, which broke to the upside way back here at 38.30, came back and tested and turned higher, has remained higher. But it too is beginning to roll over a little, which is pretty much what it did here. So I'm somewhat concerned about that. I just want to take a quick look at the copper. I really like the way that the copper looks in here. Um, it's really trying to move. On the weekly, which I think is a little bit more representative, you can see that it came down hard. As a matter of fact, it came straight down in 3.5 months from a new all-time high at 503, almost 504. Uh, Came down in one leg to 403 lower high, and then in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks it came all the way down to 313. It bounced right back up. It's, this is going to be a tough area at 360, but if we get a close above 360 on a weekly basis, and this is 360.04, if we can break above that, I think we could easily go back to the 410, 415 area. And I would probably play that not necessarily with CPER or COPX, but I think more likely with FCX or RIO, Rio Tinto, or AA, which is the old, can't remember, AA, Alcoa. All right, folks, that's your first look at the futures for Sunday night, and I'll be back first thing in the morning. This is a very big week with both CPI and PPI on Wednesday and Friday.